with Spotlight. As the title implies, we're going to be going over today how to best utilize the Spotlight program to enhance your listing presentation. So the listing presentation. It's your pitch to convince your client that you're the one that should sell their home. You've got a very short period of time to capture their attention and get them to want to choose you as their agent. It's your point of entry for new clients. And if you want to be successful as an agent and good at growing your business, you need to make sure that your listing presentation is spot on. So just to be clear, what I'm going to go over today shouldn't be your entire listing presentation. I'm not a real estate agent. There's definitely facets of the business that I can't teach you. But what I can do is I can give you an amazing tool to help give you a distinct edge against your competition. And after all, that's what this is about, isn't it? Having that edge. Convincing your prospective client that you're more fit, better qualified, more professional, and ultimately going to make them more money than the next agent in line. So this tool that I'm going to give you is Spotlight, and it's really going to give you that edge. It's like upgrading your shovel into a bulldozer. It doesn't guarantee you're going to get the job done, but it sure makes things a lot easier. So how will Spotlight help? Well, simply put, Spotlight gives you an internet marketing strategy, a first-class internet marketing strategy. Show your future clients that you have a plan, one that's better than the other agents, one that's really going to wow them. And you know what you're going to do? You're going to find you're going to become much more successful in your listing presentations. Spotlight is all about quality of service. I've talked to several trainers and top real estate agents over the past few years, and the constant feedback I get about the Spotlight program and how it's helped them is that agents have really been able to emphasize how they're going to be able to go the extra mile for their clients. Spare no expense, attention to detail, extremely professional, comprehensive strategy. If you can show your clients that you're giving them everything in the kitchen sink, and more importantly, you're going to sell their house faster and for more money than anyone else because of your strategy, you've got a solid advantage over your competition. So you want to plant the seed into your future client's head that what you're providing is important. Make them question other agents they're going to be interviewing. They're going to start asking these other agents questions like, do you have an internet marketing strategy? Where are you advertising my home on the internet? Can you provide a marketing package similar to this Spotlight I've heard about? The realistic fact is if you can make your future clients catch the other agents off guard, not only will the other agents falter, dropping their value, but you're going to look more knowledgeable, professional, and aware of the marketplace. One great way to boost your internet strategy in the eyes of your future clients is by framing everything from the perspective of a buyer, because this is something that they can relate to since it's probably the position they're most likely in at the moment. Have they used the internet to look at homes before talking to you? Pretty darn likely. Almost everyone does. When they were looking at homes, did they come across listings with no pictures? How did they perceive those listings? Probably not very highly. Let them know that you're going to make sure that their listing is going to have a great first impression. It's going to look better than all the others out there. Amazing pictures, great virtual tour, feature-rich website, advertising all over the web. An internet marketing strategy. You have one. It's important. You know it's important. Get your clients to realize its importance. You're instantly narrowing the field of your competition because surprisingly, most agents don't have an internet marketing strategy. Okay, so enough of the preamble. Now I'm going to go over the listing presentation slides that we've prepared for you and kind of emphasize key points along the way. So to start, what you're going to have to do is you're going to head over to spotlight.century21.ca/marketing-material and scroll down to the list and presentation section. Now, I want to make sure that you write down this website address and bookmark it, because if you go to our main webpage, you're not able to find it just by clicking on a button or a link. And that's by design because we don't want it to make it easy for clients to stumble across this information for obvious reasons. So I'm going to flip the presentation over to show you what this page looks like. So this is, again, spotlight.century21.ca/marketing-material. As I mentioned before, you want to scroll down to the section that says Sample Listing Presentation Slides with Talking Points. You click on that, and it'll open up this here. This is the online listing presentation slides that we've prepared for you. I'm going to go over a lot of these slides now, but definitely take a look at them and go over them in your own time. And don't forget to take a look at the speaker's notes too. The speaker's notes along the bottom here. A lot of people miss those. Formulate how you can integrate this listing presentation into your own. You're free to take as much or as little of the information and media from this presentation as you'd like. You can modify it, copy and paste, do whatever you need to do. And to make this easy, you can actually download an offline copy. All you have to do is click on File and then Download As, and it gives you different options. Most likely you're going to want to download it in the PowerPoint format so you can copy and paste it into your PowerPoint presentation. So once you've got your offline copy, you can modify it to your heart's content. Just a quick note about the listing presentation, and this is mentioned here in fact. If you're going to use this listing presentation, make sure you delete any slides that don't apply to you. We go over all of our services in this listing presentation, some of which you may not actually want to offer to your clients. So just be aware of the fact that this is like everything that we offer here. You might want to tailor your listing presentation to accompany that. Okay, so let's start our listing presentation review off with probably the first key slide in the listing presentation. So earlier I was talking about the importance of maintaining an edge over other clients by giving a great listing presentation. Well, this slide here gives you an instant competitive advantage. What you're going to show them today is a marketing package that's exclusive to Century 21 sales representatives. This stuff isn't something that other agents can provide. If your future client wants what you're showing them today, they're going to have to go through you. Scarcity of a good quality service and showing your future client something that they can't get elsewhere, this is going to create a demand in your service, one that can only be filled by you. Again, competitive advantage. So moving along, the next few slides here, I'm going to go over some of the main points on what's provided in the Spotlight service. I'm going to go over these quickly, emphasizing the key selling features, and I'm not going to go into the details in specifically what Spotlight provides, or we're really going to be here all day. If you need that information, we do have a seminar that we did a few weeks ago. It was called Introduction to Spotlight, and it goes over pretty much everything that's involved in the service. You can find that on our seminars page. Again, that's at spotlight.century21.ca/seminars. A lot of you are probably watching this presentation right now from that page. Scroll down to the bottom of the page, and there's our back catalog of seminars located at the bottom. So the first big thing I'd like to point out is a general theme we have with the Spotlight program. And this is a good theme to kind of hint at to your clients as you're going through the listing presentation. We always look at the industry norm, and then we want to take it to the next level. We don't want our agents providing run-of-the-mill services. We want them providing the best. And again, make sure you hint to this to your client that you're going to be providing them higher than the industry standard throughout pretty much everything that you do. Okay, so going through some of the features, starting with photography. Emphasize to your clients the importance of photography and how most prospective buyers start by looking at the pictures. You need to have great photos. You need to create that great first impression. And what you're doing with the Spotlight program, you're not only providing professional photography, you're providing HDR photography, making their photos look magazine quality, really making their home stand out from the crowd. So one thing important to note here is that if you're ordering our standard package, we use HDR imaging, which there's an example of it shown here, this non-HDR versus HDR. And you can see the difference here, and it's pretty striking. This HDR imaging is mostly post-processing techniques. However, if you order our deluxe package, we give you premium HDR photography, which is technically bracketed exposure HDR photography. And without getting into the technical details, it uses a little bit more advanced equipment and more intensive post-processing, really giving you like that absolutely amazing end product. So next up is the virtual tour. Your clients have likely seen virtual tours before, but one of the big selling points that Spotlight provides that not many others do is professionally recorded audio voiceover of the home. And we overlay this onto the video. So we actually use the listing description to provide the material for this. But if you provide us with the proper script, we can even sync the audio to the video, creating this amazing end product. Just note that if you do want this audio sync, you're going to have to request it. It's no extra cost or anything. However, it does require a proper script that works well with the format. As you can imagine, most listing descriptions are a sentence or two long, don't really sync well with a 3-minute long video. So if you're using a deluxe package too, you don't just get a slideshow style video, you get a true walkthrough video of the home. That's a videographer we send to your home, and they actually walk through your home with a live video. If you really want to wow your client, show them a video walkthrough with audio sync. It's an amazing end product that really gives the buyer a great sense of how the home flows. So the next up is the listing web page. And some of its key features are covered over its next few slides, but what the best thing to do is always to show them a live sample. So we've got a good tool to help you get a live sample up and running, especially if you don't have a currently active listing in our system. If you go here to our marketing materials page, this is the one that I showed you before, again, spotlight.century21.ca/marketing material. It's the one with this listing presentation link that you had before. But if you scroll down past that, you'll notice there's a widget here. Create a sample Spotlight listing webpage with your branding. Select a real estate board, enter your board ID, then select a marketing package that you want to create a sample listing for. It's going to give you a link. You click on that link, and what it does is it gives you a live version of a sample listing. This isn't a real listing. It's 123 Main Street South, so it's not a real listing. But the great thing is it's got your own branding in the bottom. It's got all the pictures, all the clickable elements, pretty much everything you'd want to see in the listing webpage to show off a live example. Now, if you use this tool and you don't see your branding in the bottom, it's most likely because you're not set up in our system yet, or we don't have your real estate board ID in our system. So just shoot us a quick email and we can rectify that very quickly. So when you're looking at this listing web page, again, like I said, it's always good to show a live working sample of the site. And you can go through this with them and you can take a look and highlight all the kind of key features of the site. Show them the photos. They're nice and large, a lot bigger than Realtor.ca, a lot higher quality than Realtor.ca. These are full HD. Realtor.ca and most MLS systems compress the hell out of their pictures. They won't have that on this website that we provide them. There's also no limit on the number of photos. There's no limit on the listing description as well. You can have a plain English listing description about the home instead of that 3-4 sentence listing description you find on MLS. But there's a virtual tour here as well. It's really accessible. But most importantly too, and as we've been talking about throughout this presentation, is that you want to go above and beyond. The right side of the page helps you do this. This is where we have all the neighborhood information. We've got a write-up on the neighborhood, the history, the recreation hotspots in the area. We've got an amenities tool finder, a school finder. You can search by grade, language immersion options, types of school, Catholic, public, private, a commute tool. It's really great because you're not just selling the home, you're selling the lifestyle of the neighborhood, and this kind of brings it all together. And again, this is something that not many other agents would be providing, something like this. Almost none would. So it's a key point to emphasize. Again, you're always looking for that competitive advantage. So a couple of other differentiators that we have, and we've got slides for these in the listing presentation, but again, it's always best to show them the live version. We've got this live chat widget in the bottom right here. This live chat widget is used surprisingly regularly. We found that it's a very low barrier of entry contact method into getting people to engage with the agent where they otherwise wouldn't have. And once they're engaged with the agent, that's where your job as a salesperson kicks in. And no matter how good or bad you are at that job, the more leads you have coming in, obviously, the more likely you are to get an offer on the table, and that's what is most important to your client. So another great differentiator that we have is that Spotlight websites put a focus on international traffic as well. With foreign investment representing such a large portion of homeownership these days, especially in urban centers, and not to mention that it's such a hot topic right now, saying you're trying to capture this market is really going to ring true with most clients. So to capitalize on these prospective buyers, your listing webpage is actually translated into 13 different languages. I'm just going to show you what the French one would look like, for example. So all the key elements, even the write-ups, are all done en français here. And the only kind of exclusion to this would be the listing description. Obviously, we don't translate all the individual listing descriptions. However, this is a fantastic tool. So if someone comes here and they're a native French language speaker, it's going to display this website in their own language, and it automatically detects it. They don't have to come to the top corner and click on French. This website will actually automatically detect the language of the user. Not to mention, we also send cues to Google that we have international ready websites. So if someone is Googling in a foreign language, it will give you your listing web page a boost in that specific Google search. So after showing your clients this great web page, what you want to show them next is this slide. What you want to tell them is that having a great website, it's simply not enough. You need to make sure that you get eyeballs on your listing. And you have a strategy to do specifically this. Show them this slide. Tell them you advertise their listing all over the internet to all the major players. Social media networks like Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Tumblr. The two major classified ad networks, Kijiji and Craigslist. Real estate search websites, Matula, Trovit, Yakaz, Housing Blog. And don't forget to mention, and many people do, but you also put the listing up on MLS, Realtor.ca, and Online Office. And also don't forget to mention that you take all the necessary steps to ensure that your listing webpage performs well on Google and Bing. If you want to know more about the details on how we do that specifically, we did actually a full seminar on the topic, like on Google specifically, called Getting the Most Out of Google. And I definitely suggest you check that out. And again, you can go to spotlight.century21.ca/seminars. It's most likely where you're watching this right now. Just go down to the bottom, and our back catalog of old seminars is down there. So what you want to accomplish with this slide is that you're comprehensively advertising their listing all over the internet. Again, you've got an internet marketing strategy. And not only do you have an internet marketing strategy, but you've got one that works. You've got numbers to back it up. The next 3 slides I'm going to show you here, they're from a study we did, and they're comparing the performance of listings in our participating brokerages. And it's comparing specifically those that went through the Spotlight marketing program compared to those that didn't. And we found some numbers that can really impress your clients. Homes listed with the Spotlight marketing package resulted in far fewer pricing reductions. They spent almost a quarter less time in the market. And most importantly, they sold for a higher percentage of the asking price, and not just a small amount. $6,300 on a $500,000 listing. That's a significant amount of money you're putting in your client's pocket. Not only that, but showing them this, that's great leverage once you get to the negotiation of your commission. And also, don't forget the $6,300 figure. That scales with the value of the home. So if you're showing, or you're going to listing presentation for a home that's more like $250,000 or $1 million, you can adjust this number accordingly. It's just achieved through the difference of these two percentages here. So these statistics, they're important. They show that you're not just blowing smoke. You've got weight to your words. And again, and I can't emphasize this enough, you've got an internet marketing strategy that works. So if you take home anything from my seminar today, it's about the importance of emphasizing your internet marketing strategy and how it's not only going to help you sell your client's home faster, but for more money as well. Having a solid internet marketing strategy will make you look professional and help you stand out from the crowd of other agents competing for the exact same listing you're trying to get. Review the listing presentation slides we've prepared. Get to know our services inside and out. Speak confidently about your strategy. And what you're going to do is you're going to find that you'll gain your client's trust by conveying an insight into the internet marketplace that other agents simply can't. Your clients will view you as more professional, more put together than other agents. You'll find that you're subtly creating a situation where these clients will want your service over other agents. And once they want you, the ball's going to be in your court. So that concludes the prepared portion of the seminar. I can now open the floor to any questions you may have.